Well, I've done podcasts in German recently, so Jens, thank you very much for allowing me to do a podcast in English right now. I'm very happy. I'm going to approach the topic of AI again, especially since we discussed this topic very often last year, and the world changed since then. I changed as well, obviously, but um, I just want to bring different flavors from my point of view on the AI, which were very theoretical before, and maybe also very much one-sided. What am I doing with AI? How can I use AI? How did I use AI? What did I develop with AI? Developing business case, or fine-tuning business case, or doing market research, or developing a presentation, an app, or a marketing campaign for a friend, which were things that I was doing. And there were many more things that we discussed at the time that were not necessarily related to the day-to-day insurance business where I am today. Second, I'm doing business now in a different environment. I'm involved into a totally non-English or French-speaking environment, German-speaking. And I speak German, so as people can see from other podcasts, or they will also judge me badly and say, well, your English is already not perfect, but your German is, my God, I don't want to see that. Why don't you try in French? Okay, maybe another time. But the point here is, I could use AI and prompt and make a text using whatever, even AI, producing an agent, asking the agent to produce a text for me, to introduce a level of inconsistency and wrong speech pattern, so it looks authentic, and use an avatar, or photos and takes on me, and then off we go. But that's not me. But AI could do that. I mean, today you can do so many things with AI, even more than last year, much more adapted, much more, let's say, even on the cognitive element or angle to it. So there is a lot of things that can happen in AI. By that I mean that the AI tools have cascaded down in almost everything we do. We can say as a business, you know what I do is purely non-AI, because there are some confidentiality risk, security risk. So many risks can be listed that would prevent or drive companies to not use AI. Usually, not using AI is not even an option; it's just fact. Let's take a side story here. We discuss about the internet, how quickly it took over the world. We talk about the smartphone, how quickly they spread in population, and I've seen marketing strategies during my time in a big group that were developed on smartphone only. So you don't care about the address of a person, because some people actually don't have an address in some countries. They have a phone. They live here and there. Or don't have a fixed address, let's say. So the business was done based on the fact that the person had a bank account and a smartphone, not an address. If I tell that to my anti-money laundering officer here in Europe, in Luxembourg, and then I get a red card. It's just not feasible. But in some countries, actually, it's the de facto business. So going back to the point of AI, on every smartphone, AI is there. Or if you want to use LinkedIn, I mean, obviously the algorithm behind it is all AI based. Or they use AI, or many AI agents, many things that are being used there. So compared to last year, where the discussion was AI, not AI, I mean, I don't think that it can be a discussion anymore. It's simply AI is there everywhere, whether you see it or not, or what you buy, the way the advert is done on television. I mean, AI is behind it, partly. But at least whatever percentage it is, we know it's not zero. The news that we get are treated with AI. Everybody is using, one way or another, AI tools. So the point now is not to say, I want it, I don't want it, is how can I make the best use of it? And how can I create added value for my business using tools that are available to me? And how can I rate those tools in the risk matrix that I have? So am I going to use these tools or those tools or that tool if there is a confidentiality risk, if there is a risk for my intellectual capital? Where are the data? I mean, in Luxembourg, in insurance, data are so critical. Confidentiality is the norm. And although there is a lot of, we don't talk about insurance secrecy, but the confidentiality of the data, of insurance data, is the number one thing that you know before even starting to understand insurance. In insurance business, it's an advantage, it's a disadvantage. But when you consider AI tools, then you must consider that element, because if you don't, then there will be drastic consequences for you, for your company, for your shareholders, and for your client. So the question there is, if AI is there, how can I still manage my risk? By this, I mean, AI has just become a fact of life, another risk, another tool, which is difficult, very clearly, very difficult to assess. It's very difficult to plan the evolution, the strength of this tool, the potential, but also the risk that you have. So it's become part of all the risk management process. It's become a norm. It's become part of policies. It's become part, or a very important part, of how you can improve your internal process, your documents, your efficiency. And at the end of the day, the cost-benefit assessment is the second most important element. First is the risk, then the added value, and then the third element is how much intellectual capital, competence you have in your company to make sure that you hedge the risk or nullify it if possible. And second, that you actually deliver on the added value. It shouldn't be a drag. It should be a tool which is going to allow you to move forward. And the third element in that is, as much as what you have on your smartphone when you're using AI, or tools that you're using are using AI, what you need to do is to make sure that when you think about it, it's simply a tool that confirms or that complies with the first 2 points, but also that delivers value to your client, whatever you do. The value to your client is going to then make, hopefully, sure that your chances of success are increasing, or that your chances of keeping the client in long term is increasing. So you really have to assess what is the need of the client. Do you need all those functionalities, or don't you need them? And if you need them, what is the goal? Is that a goal of functionalities that are important when you present to your distributor? If your insurance is distributed by partners, agents, brokers, banks, asset managers, family office, especially in the wealth management area. So you need to convince them that the tool that you're going to develop for the client is something that make them look good, or that make them easily sell your product. If it's complexified, if it's too complicated, if it's not working, if there are complaints from clients, then the great use you've done from AI to develop those tools, or that to have AI in those tools available in there, will not be a positive outcome. So, maybe you will not get your cost benefit positive, but it becomes negative at the end of the day. So these are the elements, the client centricity that existed much before. That's always been the key element. Do you make your client happy? And do you make money? Should remain there. So my take on the evolution is that it percolates in all the strats, levels of the business, and it creates client expectation, very high client expectation. You just need to find the right level of usage to ensure that you meet the client expectation in the short and long term, and then you become successful. Sales is about, we say sometimes a bit luck, but luck is about probability, and the more you increase your probability of success using AI, then that's a good use of AI.